What up? Look, I'm not. I gotta rep my city today, but welcome to the Potluck. We are a hip hop podcast serving up culture, current events, and other side dishes. You about to get into this week what we love doing, and that's talking music, talking hip hop, talking culture, talking albums. You see Otis already got one up there. It's your boy Pete. Go ahead, let him know.
What up? What up? It's your boy Otis Miggity Mac.
What up? It's your boy Ahmad, aka TKO Joe. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. Let's go. Come on.
Yes, sir. It's Lulu, top 5 most hated and your favorite. Plain Grain Deco. Holla at me, man. Let's get it. Welcome to
Man, real quick, Lou, let us know. I heard you say Plain Gray Deco. What you got behind you? Let the people know. We're gonna put you in early.
Yeah, so this is pretty much home decor made by Plain Grain Deco, which is me. I do this all by scratch, by hand. Get you something nice, put on your walls, decorate your living space. Get you some nice decor, get your house organized, because
It's your little something.
a lot of people spending more time at home now. People working from home, and people just not working. So go and invest in your living space. Visit me at plaingraindeco at Etsy.com.
Hey, there it is, man. Yeah, I mean, y'all can't see it, but I got a piece right in my house too, man. It's goes well, and he got little accents. I won't give away no secrets, but he got a little accent that he do that I really like in that joint.
Tried to flex my lockbox right now, but the camera was hating on it like a little. But yeah, man, my lockbox is still holding strong, bro. I think I had that thing for about like 2 years or something like that now.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute I shipped that to you.
Yeah, man, still holding strong. Good quality. Bucks with them.
Yeah. Hey, so you get all good ratings from us over here, but look, we're gonna talk about these albums. So if y'all don't know, what we do here, we're the Potluck. We rate. Sometimes we're gonna rate albums, and we got our system of doing it. And you can see the plates on Otis's screen right here. When you go to the cookout, you go to somebody's cookout or potluck, you never know what you're gonna get on your plate, right? So what's on your plate? I'm gonna just give y'all a little rundown how we think about it. It's kind of on you walk out and you got a full plate, the food was good. The album was good. You got the potato salad, you got mac and cheese, you got corn on cob. If you get just like a little bit, you have some of the sides and maybe like a piece of rib, maybe it's an okay plate. And so that's the way we kind of rate our albums. You ever go to one and like the food ain't right, they got raisins in the potato salad or something.
That's when you know you listen to Lil Zane.
Damn, shots fired already. Early. We ain't even get to it yet.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. Hey, man, right on cue, though. There it is. So, first album we did was 2000, Lil Zane. Y'all, if you seen me on here, I done talked about this album. They done gave me hell for liking Lil Zane at all, for even mentioning him when it comes to hip hop. But he did have an album. He did have some songs. He charted with 112. So we did Young World, The Future. What's on your plate for that one? Oh, it was a rough one.
He got a one. He got. Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, Otis. Go ahead, because you and Lou both got the same rating for it. So go ahead, let him know. So
one song, number 14, was actually really dope, and that was, I think, when he was trying to be personal and not trying to sound like Pac, or he was trying to sound like Pac throughout the whole album. But at least this one was actually, him being the real him and not him being Lil Pac. And then number 10 was actually pretty decent too, but 2 songs out of 15, trash. I was driving on the freeway that day. It increased my road rage. A couple people got flipped off simply because the Lil Zane album was on. They didn't even do nothing wrong. I just said fuck you just because I was mad that I had to listen to this album.
Is that your face listening to this album? Your face on the rating plate? That was your face?
Yes.
So yes. You got the beans, and you folded that shit up.
Oh, I folded the plate. I kicked it over into the next door neighbor's yard, and then their dog sniffed it, and their dog was like, ugh, and walked away from the plate without even licking the shit.
Damn, you said the dog wouldn't get it?
No.
Lou, tell me what you think about the album. Yeah, I see. This is gonna be a rough segment for me right here. I see your rating. You got it. You shitting on it too, right?
Yeah, man. You know, it was kind of one of them situations where, you know, you go through the potluck, you see what everybody else got on their plate, you know, you kind of like, man, this don't even look good, but I'll try it, I guess. Yeah, you know, it really was it was wrong timing, you know, being that we had just lost Tupac. It was wrong timing. It doesn't sound just real. It sounded like a bunch of people wrote some of the stuff for him. It just didn't give you that feel that it was really authentic at any part. And then it was a imitation flow from, you know, Tupac, one of the greatest. So I mean, you can't go out here trying to emulate somebody. You know what I mean? Just be you. You know, like even to my man Otis saying, it's few songs they sound like it was originally just him. It was actually decent. You know, but overall, walked in there, looked at other people's plate, decided I didn't really think it was going to be good. Picked up a little something and folded it real quick. So I mean, you know, I don't know if I probably became a better Texas Hold'em player the way I folded, but.
So you saying you wouldn't go back to a Lil Zane cookout?
Nah.
Ahmad, would you go back to a Lil Zane cookout? I see you gave it the same rating. Go ahead.
Nah, man. Hey, so since you forced us to listen to that shit, like Lou said, like, you know, it was like, oh, I'll try it out. Like, no, we were forced to. I felt like that was in prison. You know what I'm saying? You gave us bologna sandwiches and shit with that. That's what that was.
Hey man, I'm hey,
Bologna
I'll be like this. Hey, I'm coming to pick y'all up. Hop in the car. Where we going? Hey man, we're going to get. Come on, just hop in the car. We're going to a party. We're going to cookout. Like, all right, who cookout? Man, just hop in the car. Scooped all y'all up. Took y'all to Lil Zane cookout.
That's why we don't.
Niggas was in the car parking lot like mad. Like,
and this is pre-Uber days when whoever drove, you got to be on their schedule. So you couldn't even leave. You just stuck at this mother.
You had the park mad tight face because you know it's Lil Zane's out.
So on that plate, it was a bologna sandwich, Wonder White bread with Kraft Singles and Miracle Whip. That's what it
was. And nothing else.
Nothing else.
That made it worse.
Well, look. Okay, so I know
Captain had taken us down to this terrible monstrosity.
I won't hold y'all for y'all reviews, but I know y'all waiting. Y'all gotta. I guess I gotta defend myself.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You can try.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 3.
Oh, I need everybody to remember the score as we go through everything else. You can hear how this Lil Zane album compares to some of these other much better albums.
It might have been a little bit strong, I'll be honest, and I don't backpedal much. It might have been a little strong. I'm a little jumping out there, but, you know, it holds some memories for me, a little nostalgia. I think that, you know, songs like Calling Me and like None Tonight, they're not classics and by any means, but you could put them all in a party like in the 90s or like early 2000s party, and like people will know him. And you know, he did what he was supposed to do. I don't think Lil Zane, you know, maybe
if the DJ played a song about not getting none in a party, DJ, get your ass up out of here. you ain't getting none tonight. Nigga, what is you doing?
Man, but look, I think he did what he was supposed to do, man. You're not wrong though. You're not wrong. Man, you fucking up the whole party, dog. Change that.
That's what we're here for.
So they played None Tonight at Lil Zane's cookout. And everybody was like, all right, we out.
All the females leaving.
I just thought he did what he was supposed to do. Lil Zane was never going to be a star. So he needed, you know, if he don't make this album, he's probably never, we don't know who Lil Zane is. Are we better off not knowing who Lil Zane is? And that's debatable. At least gives us some
It's not debatable.
at least gives us a little some.
But
yeah.
What do we can we agree that this Lil Zane gets a 1 out of 5? If that.
You know, it's
Pete got 3 and everybody else gave it 1, and that's because we couldn't do zeros, I guess. So
yeah,
I think it's fair to say that we give this one a solid 1. The beans.
Hold up.
That's so the overall is the 1 right there.
Wieners and
Man,
beans,
cold
not
game.
the real baked beans. Wieners and beans.
You can see the
the
whole
hot-
plate.
The
You're
hot
like-
dogs.
The
Yeah.
hot dogs and beans.
You can see the whole plate, man. Like we ain't getting no food on the plate, huh?
That's when I walked in there and saw.
Girl, to me, he wouldn't even get a plate.
Damn.
Yeah, I walked in there and saw people with beanie weenies on their plate, man, and was like, oh, man.
Somebody was trying to go get the chips. Where the chips at? Give me the Lay's chips.
Yeah,
You said the beanie weenies.
no. With that slimy piece of pork in it. Ugh.
Oh man. Y'all do my brother Zane like that, man. He just
He did us like that. Sure.
anyway, so like I said, we all forget Lil Zane. It's a 1. It was a 1 overall. I tried to pull them over to the Lil Zane side. If you watching Lil Zane, because I know you ain't got nothing else going on right now, you might be watching this. Go ahead and I tried to fight for you, bro. You ain't make it. Let's get on to Snoop, man. We got to get on to this dog father because y'all ain't gonna beat me up about Lil Zane all day. So
Remember,
the
he
Dogfather,
gave it a
man.
3. All right.
I did give it a 3. All right, man. So the Dogfather, 96, Snoop, on the heels of Snoop's really just skyrocketing. So from one sorry rapper to actually a good rapper. TKO, Amar, let us know, man. I got to get your opinion on the Dogfather. I feel like you got some good, strong opinions on this album.
I gave it around a 3. I mean, it could be a little lower. I mean, I don't think it was a great album. I think part of it I may judge it because of the timing that it came out. I mean, it came out amongst some classics. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, this is the time that Pac just died. You know, he had just dropped All Eyes on Me. Nas just came out with It Was Written. The year before that, it was Dog Food. You know, Dog Pound dropped Dog Food. And then, this is a sophomore album, and he got his first album was what like, we talking about Doggy Style, which is like a classic amongst classics, probably like the second, the third, maybe even the first best West Coast album ever, right? I mean, if you go Chronic, Doggy Style, it depends on what you like, you know what I'm saying? Even, maybe one of NWA's albums, but depending
No
on
game in there. I gotta ask.
I mean, I think most people would say Chronic or Doggy Style, right? I don't.
Never
I maybe listen to the album, but I think maybe if you're older, you may say NWA's Straight Outta Compton. You know what I'm saying? May be in there, but I think we're talking about like West Coast like supremacy, right? And so like, coming after that, I mean, it doesn't really compare. So like, I think we may drop it a little bit because of that, but I liked the album a lot, but there was a lot of songs that were like, skippable. You know what I'm saying? But I think they had some really good songs on there. You know what I'm saying? I like Vapors. I like Dogfather. You know what I'm saying? A few other songs with Dog Pound on there. I mean, so it was cool, man. But so I would give it a 3. Maybe 2.5.
2.5.
Maybe 2.5. Even though I rated it a 3, I would give it maybe a 2.5 somewhere around there. If I was able to round out or drop it a little bit, I would drop it to 2.5.
That's fair. What you think, Lou? What you got on this? I think you have. Would you have a 3.5? You got some ribs on there.
Yeah, I mean, kind of some of the points that TKO made about the album. I mean, it's a few on there that's some nice cuts. I want to kind of guess it was kind of like the throwaways from some Doggy Style stuff and some Dog Pound stuff, and I think they kind of just cleaned up what they had with the the throwaways stuff that didn't necessarily make the Snoop album. The Doggy. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was a couple more people involved in the Dogfather as well. As far as the production wise and music wise, like more the Dog Pound on there I noticed.
Yeah.
But and I just gave it a 3.5. Because I see where they was trying to be a little more creative from Doggy Style. Cedar's trying to do a little something different. So, but I just don't think that I don't think that Snoop's flow actually captured it. You know,
Okay.
maybe his flow or lyrically he was ready, like what they was trying to do with it. From what I feel like, kind of his only holdback. But I like Snoop. So anytime I hear him rhyme, I show him some love.
It's Snoop. Like
Yeah.
like you said, you gotta. It's Snoop. Like what more can you say? He's rhyming.
Yeah. So give it a 3.5.
Okay, sure. But let's.
Also, Dre had left already.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's what
Dre left. I want to say he left right after All Eyes on Me came out. I think,
That sounds right.
if I can remember. But I know when the Dogfather came out, I was kind of like about it because his first album was so lit. You know what I'm saying? It was like you're like, okay, Snoop coming out with another album, but everybody was kind of like, because everybody was like on that Pac high. You know what I'm saying? So like it was kind of like Snoop, okay. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but at the time, like they couldn't do no wrong, so it was kind of. I mean, but like you said, it was Snoop died.
The Pac.
Pac died. Excuse me. Pac died, and like I hear you.
But people, they were on the Pac high, man. I mean, like the whole West Coast, East Coast thing, and like Pac was like, what I'm saying? Like Pac was on the rise so much. You know what I mean? Snoop when Pac when I mean, I would even argue to this day that Snoop was jealous of Pac. I mean, why wouldn't he, right? When Snoop was a man when the Doggy Style came out, but then Pac came along, it was like Snoop who? You know what I mean? Like it was like Pac, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't ready like then. Like Snoop wasn't ready to drop that. Like how you said in the middle of the pop kind of high. You know what I mean? So that's when like, Snoop wasn't ready for that. Like lyrically, like
right. I mean that's a good point. Like maybe when it came out, it was kind of like maybe forced a little bit. You know what I'm saying
trying to compete
because Pac put out 2 albums in '96.
Yeah,
like, Pac, and what I've heard about Pac is he was a hard worker. He was always in the studio, putting something out. You could tell by when he died, he had Machiavelli like 50 Machiavellis that came out after that.
I was saying the other day, rest in peace to Kobe and Pac. I was saying the other day, Pac had that like mentality, that Kobe mentality of work ethic. Like he was just in there consistently. Like I'm gonna just pump these out and continue. That's why I always say like he was just gonna get better with time.
Yeah, he would have for sure.
So, Otis, what you think about it?
I'm at like a 3, maybe bump it up to a 3.5. The dope shit on there is really dope. And then there was a few weak tracks, but yeah, I'll say a solid 3.5. Because the biggest drawback to these songs are Snoop's lyrics. He's not really the greatest lyricist, but he's likable. You can enjoy his music. Like he knows how to make a good song without putting too much effort into the verses. He always has a fire beat. He always has a dope hook, or most of the time he has a dope hook, and then he just kind of skates through the verses. So that's the only thing that kind of fucked the album up for me, is because I'm big on verses. But yeah, man, I say a solid 3.5 because the good shit on there is really good. Yeah. Yeah, man, the one the OJ Wake Up song, man, that's my shit right there.
Yeah.
Man, I gave it a 2.
And Lil Zane a 3, but okay.
I might be like a mod and bump it up to a 2.5. Really, now that we talking about it, just I did have the album when it came out. There were some tracks that I liked at the time. Going back and listening to it, I was just like, shit's not a throwaway for me, but it's just in terms of what Snoop presents album wise, I was like, this is not a good Snoop album. Like, so that probably is a little bit biased. And it's just kind of like I don't expect Zayn to do what Snoop does. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe that skews my view, but I just wanted more from Snoop. That's just me. What you got to say? I see you gonna say something.
You said it yourself, bro. You expect more from Snoop, but you don't expect shit from Lil Zane. And so I guess when somebody that you don't expect shit from gives you shit, then they get a good score. It shouldn't work like that, bro.
I wouldn't say that's what I said exactly. Anyway, point being,
My interpretations are always on point.
don't question me, right? No, I think when you go into it and you look at Lil Zane, what you expect from Lil Zane ain't what you expect from Snoop. So you can give Lil Zane a little bit more of a bump in credit, you know. It's a sliding scale, you know. Not everyone gets judged on the same scale for me.
Well, that motherfucker slides all right.
So look, all right, from one joint, let's hit this classic up next. I'm calling it a classic.
I'll give it that.
The Dogfather was a great one. Was a mediocre one from Snoop. Let's go to one of the next biggest artists ever to grace the mic, Drake. We did his Take Care album, and so, I mean, oh, you know, we saw Snoop, so I will skip that. Let me make sure we get this in. Snoop real quick, you know.
Yeah.
So we got him right around a 3 there. You see about half the plate full, a little bit over half. You know, we didn't get the ribs, but you know, it was Snoop. So, you know, we got the beans. We're like, all right, it's Snoop. He got a couple things in there. So we get in with the mac and cheese. He got a couple things. He got the coleslaw, and it was kind of like, you know, all right, Snoop, you know, that's enough. Like, we don't need no more. So, you know,
the nigga deserves a rib, but the average is the average.
Yeah, he do deserve a rib, but not on this album. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Ugh.
Now, you know who gets the ribs and the chicken and all that? It's this Drake Take Care album.
Yes, sir.
Man, let me go ahead and kick it off because I think this is I'm the first one on here with the. Yeah, you know, I think I had the perfect plate first on there. If you can see it over here, the album right there, man. It's got the potato salad right in the middle, because so you know. When you go to the cookout, man, you get the beans, like we said, the coleslaw, all that other stuff. You're like, all right, man, this shit kind of smacking. You get the ribs. We got some chicken on there, man. Said, man, we even gonna get the corn on the cob, because sometimes you don't get the corn on the cob. Like, why? You know, corn on the cob can be good, and when it's real good, you get the potato salad in that joint. So I gave it a potato salad plate rate, full plate. He just hit everything for me. Like at some point I was like, you know, it's all right. I'm gonna give it like a 3.5, 4. And I was waiting for a couple things, but and it happened later on in the album with a couple songs where he started giving you that like introspective. And also it's an early Drake album, 2011, so he don't sing all over the place.
Right.
He picks and chooses. So I thought it was a well put together and it flowed well. So that's for me. Who wants up next? Go ahead.
All right. So, go ahead, Ahmad.
I mean, I was gonna say I pretty much agree. You know what I mean? Like he, you know, like you say, he picked his spots. He gave a little bit of everything. You know, some bars, some singing, some you know, a little bit of island sound, all that stuff. You know, a little bit of elevator music from what I remember. But he gave a little bit of everything, man. I think it was a very solid album, probably his best album, arguably. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think that's fair. I don't think it's a. I'm not gonna say it's a classic. I don't think Drake has a classic. He has classic songs. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like he has hits, but I don't think he has like a album that I'm gonna consider a classic. Where to me, like you know, like no skips or like maybe like 2 or 3 skips or whatever, or maybe 2 skips. So I don't know if it's classic, but I think it's a great album. Probably his best. So 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow up with that same tone, man. Like overall, Take Care is a fun album. It's a good experience. Takes you through his Marvin's Room, and it takes you through the Rihanna situation. He's got Ross on there. He's got some production going on. I mean, he's got his bars.
Who Love with the Weeknd.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a cool experience overall. One you might be able to ride to for a little minute, you know, maybe in your ride or just at the crib, but you know, don't get caught because too much drinking is bad for you. So be careful. So, and definitely don't drink and drive. You know what I mean?
Might end up at your ex's.
Tissue ready.
Especially with,
Oh shit.
Might end up at your ex's place, huh? You drink and drive.
yeah, you know, so yeah, don't drink and drive, man.
Ooh.
But I agree with my man. TKO said it too, man, and I'm gonna say it. It's not a classic, you know, but Something to Ride to, one of his better albums. I gave it a 4. It's got some ribs on there. It's got some cuts, got lyrics, you know.
Okay.
Well, I was drinking and driving, and it just so I was on my way to Joshua Tree, and it just happened to play around sunset. So you could just, bro, the emotions were flowing.
Hey, this podcast just got real light skin.
Every
the light skin segment.
So to where the Lil Zane gave me road rage, bro, I was just like, I'll move out of your way because I love you. Oh, you're behind me too. I'll move out of your way too. Because I love you. I'm driving in the slow lane, telling everybody that I love them. And you know, like the girls that were passing me by, I was like, dude, I'm gonna write a song about you. I don't even know you, but I'm gonna write a song about you tonight. It was a very nice and gentle album. I wouldn't be mad if somebody called it a classic. It's on the verge of being a classic because for me, it only had 2 songs that I would absolutely skip and 3 songs that were like just average, and everything else was either cool or fire as fuck. So, man, I loved it. It's my favorite Drake album. I definitely think it's one of his best, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. And I think I'm gonna stick with it, making a solid 4. Like 4.5 is a bit of a stretch for me, but yeah, solid 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that solid 4 too, man. That practice, that you know, that kind of rework he did, I ain't like that.
It was corny.
Yeah, it was whack. So, I think the big points, the biggest parts of this plate here was the ribs, and I probably would say that's the joint with Ross. I probably would say the mashed potatoes was like the joint with Wayne. You know, he switched up the flow. You know, Tuition is Town about some random niggas in Atlanta, blah blah.
Yeah.
Of course, you got your Marvin's Room, you got your Crew Love. I mean, for sure, it's a full plate, good for it.
I mean, and it had a bunch of singles. A bunch of singles coming out of it. Headlines was a single. You said Crew Love. You said Marvin's Room. Take Care with Rihanna was a single. That shit still plays.
I hate that song.
Like Hell Yeah, Fucking Right was on there. That was, the motto.
Yeah,
so I think it's solid to say like we got it as right around a 4.
Definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's an enjoyable album. I think a 4 from us is very good. You know, very good rating. So look, on to this next album. Caught me off guard. Yeah, it caught me off guard. I wasn't familiar with Mac Miller. And then I was like, okay, what is this? I put it on. I thought I was listening to Guru, Jazzmatazz, and some more shit. Like I was thrown completely off in the best of ways. So I enjoyed it. It rode through. A lot of people say you gotta listen to some more Mac Miller and like go through. So I actually gave it a 4.5. Part of it may be, you know, over the time and listening, but from my perspective, the album, the content, the music, the way he goes through, and he hasn't all these. I was reading about the album too. He hasn't all these different producers that were coming in. I know Kanye was involved with some of it. He's got a Fiona Apple came in with Kanye and like did some stuff. He's got a bunch of different sounds and people that are behind. So sonically, I thought it was good, and then it flowed real well for me. So I gave it a 4.5. You know, really, like you see the corn on the cob there. You know, I didn't want to. It was Mac Miller, so I couldn't really get the potato salad on there. You know, I still thought the potato salads might have some raisin in it or something, you know, that maybe that's the Post Malone effect because, you know, Post Malone might have you food and then you get the potato salad and you're like, man, it's got raisins and apples and, you know, all kinds of wild shit in it. But solid 4.5 for me on that one.
I'm giving it a solid 5, to be honest. I loved it, bro. Like I was pleasantly surprised. And so I got a little story a quick story about my limited knowledge of Mac Miller. So I called in a Sway in the morning one time. He used to have his DJ. I don't know if he still does, but I think he had DJ Wonder, and he would have him do this thing to where people would call in and just give him like crazy combinations of music, like Aerosmith and Jay-Z or whatever, and it was up to the DJ to put it together and make it work. So I got through one morning. I told him Miles Davis and Bo Thugs and Harmony, and so they're like, okay, yeah, hold on to that. And so in the time they had me waiting, I was like, oh, you know what? Mac Miller's trash. Let me just tell him Mac Miller and Miles Davis. So they put me on air, and then I threw Mac Miller and Miles Davis, and then Sway was like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, Mac Miller raps over jazzy type beats, right? I was like, oh, okay. So he played it, and the shit was fire. Like, oh wow, I just totally shit the bed on this one. But
you gave Diggable Planets a jazz album, a Miles Davis album, and told him to go in on it.
Yeah, man, it was stupid. I should have stuck with I shouldn't have second guessed myself. But anyways, so I didn't know a damn thing about Mac Miller. I don't know. It's just something about him that I didn't like, and being forced to listen to this album, and bro, I loved it. Like, it was, the setting made it great. What I was doing in that moment made it great, and it just vibed perfectly. Like he was, I loved everything that he was spitting, and I wouldn't say most importantly, but I just loved the beats the most. That's one of my favorite things about the album. It was just such a nice vibe and just chill as hell. Great album. Perfect.
I like hearing that. On the other side, Ahmad, you got it around, what you got, a 2?
I had a 3. I mean, it was solid, but I thought it was I could tell it was well put together. I just got bored. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
I got bored listening to it, so that's why I dropped it. It wasn't, it wasn't hype. It didn't excite any emotions in me. It was just like the whole time was like kind of like at the same, like, wavelength, and I was kind of like, all right, man, like,
To listen to it on shrooms.
Can we get something popping? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so I like variety. You know what I'm saying? I like the mellow songs. Don't get me wrong, the jazzy song, but I want something that's lit too. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't have anything like that for me. So I was kind of like, all right, man, same old. Okay, all right.
Nah, but
I gave him a 3.
how can I say this and not get shitted on online or shitted on by God?
Pissed on.
I mean, but that's kind of what in my understanding of what Mac Miller's music is. I mean, is that like, it's got some ups and some downs, and he's talking about some struggles in that, but like, maybe the shrooms, or maybe you popped a pill or something to mellow you out, and that's when it really hits you. So I can understand how, like, the difference. Am I wrong about that with him?
I don't know. I mean, I don't listen to him like that. So like,
Okay.
I need to listen some more.
But I said I gave it a 3 because I do, like, when I listened to it, I was like, okay, he got some meaning behind his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like his stuff is well thought out. It was just boring after a certain point to me. That's how I feel. But that's just me.
That's good.
I think for me, I gave it a solid 3. Could have been a 3.5, but I guess for me, it was like a mood music type vibe. It was a certain mood I felt like I had to be in to really spin that on and be able to enjoy that more. And I think maybe I listened to it while I was working, maybe, and was like, okay, it was cool, like it rides, but it's just like, okay. I know Mac Miller is known to be a pretty cool MC, though. It wasn't always his lyrics, because Duke can rhyme. But I don't know, it's just that project was kind of melancholic for me, so good joint. Give it a solid 3. Just got to be in the mood for it.
All right, that's a bet. I can see that. So I mean, overall, I think between me and we doing the overall average anyway. You can see right here, man. We got a 3.5. That's a solid 3.5 score. A little bit above average. You got the ribs on there, man. It was the ribs was good.
It's a little bit of ribs though.
It's just a little bit of ribs, not too much.
Just one rib.
Just one- Hey man, that's a classic motherfucking movie. Hey, you know what? You know, just so y'all know out there, and you brought this up. We were talking about it. Me and Amar were talking about it yesterday. We're gonna have to talk about some soundtracks. We're gonna have to talk about some hip hop soundtracks, man. Like, keep your heads up for that. We go on if you see some or you want us to rate something, a hip hop soundtrack in that. I mean, I know what I think the GOAT is. Ahmad, we talked about that. What you know, what we kind of agree on. But there's a lot out there, man. There's a lot out there. So if we're gonna talk about some hip hop soundtracks. But it's Mac Miller, man. Like 3.5. That's solid, man. That's solid for Mac Miller.
That's solid. I mean, it was a good project. Like Lou said, you got to be in the mood. I think.
I think this is a yes or no, real quick. Go round table. You going to another Mac Miller potluck? You going to another Mac Miller cookout? Otis.
Yep.
Lou, you going to another Mac Miller cookout?
Yeah, I'll pull up. I'll see what it's about.
TKO?
Well, that nigga dead, so I don't know.
Ah.
Sorry about that.
I can't even be mad at that answer because he's not wrong.
You can take that out.
That was so
I mean, he's not. You're not wrong. Would you go to one of his old cookouts?
I'll pull. Yeah, I'll pull up. I mean, he's solid. I mean, but I got to be in the mood. So now I know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna maybe hit a few, get a few of me, and then like chill out. You know what I'm saying? And like lay back and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you. I feel you.
So.
Oh, this is the guy at the spot. Like, oh, this dude dead, right?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna pull the
You skipped church this morning, didn't you, bro?
like they did my man in DC when they brought him to the club and propped him up, Weekend at Bernie style.
Oh shit.
But look, hey,
time to exit.
all right. So I know what potluck, what cookout you always gonna pull up to. If Nas have a cookout, you always gonna pull up to the Nas one, ain't you?
Always. Let's go. Nostradamus.
So look, Nostradamus.
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 Trashadamus, man.
Nostradamus, you hated it.
For real, man. I didn't like it. I love Nas, man, but
talk to the people, man. You the Nas fanatic here. Talk to the people.
Go, man. I love Nas, man, but I'm gonna give it a 2, only because it's Nas, and of course, Nas always gonna, spit some dope, rhymes, but those beats were trash, and I felt like he was trying to be too commercial. I don't think Nas is a commercial rapper. You know what I'm saying? I think Nas can have a few commercial songs, but he's not a commercial rapper. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think Nas is kind of like one of those guys that's in between, like underground and commercial, you know what I'm saying, where he's the guy he could relate to, like people who like commercial but also people who like underground kind of like music, so he can like I think he kind of guy who can like relate to like different crowds, but when he tried to be like too commercial, like when you had Nostradamus and even parts of well, maybe not, but I think Nostradamus was that album he tried to be too commercial and it didn't work for him. I think I Am, a little bit of it was like that, but I think he got back to like being Nas. But like with Nostradamus, man, I gave it a 2. It was trash, man. It just it was trash. Sorry, Nas. Sorry, I let you down.
All right, J. Cole.
I let Nas down.
Hey, and on that, Otis, go ahead and tell us what you think about it.
Correction, Nas let us down.
Yeah.
We did. But go ahead, go ahead, Otis.
So yeah, man, like I was okay with some of the spitting on the album, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered it. Maybe the Drake softened me up a bit, but because I listened to this after I listened to Take Care, and so yeah, I do think that Drake did a number on my soul that day. But yeah, man, I'd say I give it like a 2, possibly a 2.5, because yeah, the biggest thing holding back was the beats, and then his super commercial songs where it's just like, nigga, stop, please. This ain't you. But there were some cool joints on there, man. Like it wasn't as, like I said, it wasn't as bad as I remembered it. I'm okay with it. Like I said, a two, maybe a 2.5, maybe.
Yeah. Shit, I gave it a 3. I thought it was a solid little 3 to me. And on going back and listen. Now, back in the day, I didn't really check it like that. Like, I mean, I did. I listened to it, but I didn't rock with it like that. I gave it a 3 because there was a lot of songs on there that I forgot that I loved. Like some of my favorite Nas tracks were on it.
You owe me.
That's why you like Big Girl. Mob be listening to Big Girl.
Oh, that damn song.
You a big girl now. That's some mod shit right there, ain't it? Nah, but like Project Window, Last Word, Shoot 'Em Up. Like there was some Nas songs on there that I really, really love. God Love Us.
Shoot 'Em Up is hard.
Yeah, I mean, Shoot 'Em Up's one of like, that's like storytelling Nas at like a top level. Like you see everything that's going on. So I gave it a solid 3. You know, it's not Nas's best project by any means, but I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. Oh, what you think about it, though?
You mean Lou?
Lou? Oh, look.
You look.
He back. Look, back in the bank.
Yeah, that Nostradamus, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just like, I mean, it was a good 2 for me. I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I think what hurts him the most is that this came off of Illmatic and I Am.
Yeah.
It was written.
It was.
It was-
I think this is the third one.
Yeah. So this came off of Illmatic and it was written. And it's like, oh man, what is going on here? Like, I think it was bad timing.
This came after I Am, so it's his fourth
One-
one. I Am was
one-
solid too.
Fourth album then. Okay.
It did. Well, it don't matter because one was and the other was Illmatic.
Yeah,
Well, you had two classes, and then I Am was a very
it
solid.
was solid.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, and then you drop Nostradamus. It's like, ooh.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you know, and we was just talking about earlier though, you know, around this time, it was a post Pac, post Biggie kind of space. You know what I mean? Yo, 99, what they died, what, 97? Big died, what, 97, 96?
Big died 97, Pac died 96.
Yeah. This is only 2 years after it. You know, like there's a lot of discussions been going on at the hip hop table at the time, you know, about we lost Big, we lost Pac, you know, and then it was like, oh, we got the East Coast, West Coast thing, and now all of a sudden the South got something to say. Like, you know, so this was critical for Nas if he was going to put out an album. This was probably going to be his most critical one in his career because of the time.
Okay.
Obviously, he was solidified with his first one being a classic, his second one being maybe arguably another classic. You know, It Was Written is pretty solid to me. Then it was I Am. DJ Primo was on that one, so okay, it was cool. You know, but that Nostradamus, man, it's like, no.
I will say though, I do think this album broke him out of his complacency because he was. So I Am, like I said, was solid, but there was some bad songs on there too. And then Nostradamus is just like the nigga was just like, oh yeah, I can go in and make a song and I can release anything, niggas will fuck with it. That's what this album sounds like. And then he had to take some time off, and then as Stillmatic was after this, right?
Stillmatic was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's still
So it's
like
like-
he came back hard.
If he didn't have to prove himself, if people accepted this and didn't give him shit for it, I don't think Stillmatic would have been as great as it was. So Nostradamus served this purpose.
Hey man, shout out to Jay-Z. You know, he pushed the brother to
Piece of shit album that it was.
Well, cause you know, like the whole like when Biggie died, you know, Biggie was the king of New York too. You know, so like, you know, like the whole king of New York thing was Jay-Z dropped that song after Biggie died. Was it the city
City is
City is
mine.
mine.
mine. Yeah. So like, that was that volume one or that was volume one, right?
Volume
It's
one.
volume one.
Volume one. Yeah.
And then he dropped volume two the year after that, 98, because Jay-Z was dropping every year.
Yeah.
96,
It was.
No Doubt, 97, volume one, 92, 98, volume two, 99, volume three. So like I think he dropped volume three right after Nas dropped this trash. So
Jay,
I
hey, Jay,
think Jay-Z
Jay's known to do that.
this stronghold, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Like,
Nas is trying to compete with that bullshit, and it didn't work.
little
Yeah.
history lesson. Jay's good for dropping the album right on top of Nas's head. Like, y'all thought it was new. Jay been doing this for 30 years. Fuck your album, nigga. But I'm dropping.
But Nas, he's getting in his ass right now though.
Oh yeah.
As of late, Nas been doing his thing.
Yeah.
He stay with Hit Boy, he fine, man. Leave them other niggas alone. Leave them other niggas alone. Nas,
Whoever else he was getting his beat from, yeah.
leave them other niggas alone. Stick with Hit
Lose
Boy.
their
You good.
numbers.
Don't go back to the Hearts. Don't go back to the Brave Hearts. Let them go, man.
Man, and stay away from all them niggas, man. Cause Nas always had like, like lyrics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
So look, so that's
beats.
we see a solid two on the Nostradamus,
Yeah.
I was, it is what it is, man. Nas, you killing them now, but
you
low,
got
but
verses like that. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna boost it up because of that.
yeah.
You know what I'm
But,
saying?
you gotta so I mean, it's not Nas's finest work, but for me, it is part of his legacy.
It is.
Yeah. So from Nas, from one person who we all know got bars and sometimes makes questionable choices on beat selection and everything, to another person who we all know got bars, but sometimes just don't be. I think they be doing too much sometimes. Lupe.
Oh man.
Oh, this one was some bullshit.
Man. Hey, you know what? It says Lasers. Should have took that A off and put Losers was right.
Yeah, he went in with the right mindset. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
All of these songs are some loser ass songs, bro. Fuck this,
trash, man. And I
like Ash.
I like Lupe lyrically, but this album was trash.
He must have barely. He could have. He had to have been just filling out his contract deal and just dropping the album. Like, nah.
Was that the end of his contract?
I wanted to say it was because he didn't drop one after that. That was
I could have sworn Lorenzo told me this was his passion project. No, am I wrong?
Yikes!
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll ask him again later to clarify.
He
But
might
I
fight
thought
you
this
off
was the
that one.
album. I thought this was the album that Lupe wanted to make all his life or some shit like that.
You're not serious. You're serious. Oh,
Nigga out there like this.
Lord, boy. Hey, so look, talk to him. Talk to him, Otis, man. You got it with the one. You got it with just the beans. You got the beans, and you was like, I'm done.
That nigga, he didn't even do nothing to these beans. He just like opened the can and just slapped them on the plate and served them to people. He didn't even warm them bitches up, bro.
Cold with the congealed? Was it have the congealed shit?
Oh,
cold beans, bro.
With the jelly?
Yes. This shit is cold beans, bro. Like,
no.
Unbelievable how bad this album was, especially how much Lupe has been hyped. Like, I know you guys, come on now. Like, how are you guys not talking about this album? This album is trash. It's just like electro pop. And I remember that time too. I was commuting a lot, and a lot of pop songs tried to sound like this. So it's like, damn, did Lupe really try to go pop on us? Like, this wasn't sarcastic either. Like, he was still trying to rap his best over this bullshit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of those ironic albums. He really tried to make a pop album. Fuck him for this album.
You really hate this album. Damn.
Yo, I was so mad the morning I was listening to it. Like, this is not the way I need to start my day. That shit was rough.
Words I never said.
What's up?
I said words I never said. It ain't do it for you.
It wasn't enough, man. Like here's another album that falls victim to wrong placement, things going on. I don't know if Lupe just decided he quit, or maybe he was just trying to get out of his contract and was like, well, let me just drop something, fulfill the contract and get out of here. But again, you got Food and Liquor, you got The Cool, arguable classics, possibly. Arguably classics, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoy Liquor for sure.
I enjoy Food and Liquor. You know, I enjoy The Cool.
Sure.
You know, it's like the tenacity, the lyricism, the storytelling, all that was just, you know, was hitting on the first two albums, you know. And I think Lasers was kind of like, okay, what's going on? Like, you know, what's these strange sounds? Like, this is not, you know, this is not giving us that boom bap he was giving us. You know, you talking about Lasers now, like, where are we pointing at? Like, what's going on here?
So you had the mac and cheese, and it tasted a little funny.
Yeah, man.
Let it go.
Cheese it was, man.
Heidi cooked it.
Yeah, I think I probably
Shout out
was.
to the group.
I think I was taking my plate to the trash. I was picking up other people's plates too. Like, yo, you done? Okay.
Yeah, let me get that, man.
I'm going to the trash now. Anybody else?
Ma, you stopped at the mac and cheese too. You gave it a 2.
Yeah, man. I mean, just like Nas, I mean, like Lupe's an all-time lyricist, right? So you're going to boost it up just because the lyrics gonna be like top notch. You know, Lupe ain't coming with no trash when it comes lyrically. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it ain't sounding like, you know what I'm saying, like something that's like catchy, you know, it's gonna be some deep meaning to it. Cause that's Lupe. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? He's like a poet. Same with Nas. You know what I'm saying? Nas is a storyteller, poet, all that stuff, right? So you know they come with top notch lyrics, but when you make an album, it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a poetry slam. You know what I'm saying? A nigga just get up there and just spit. Like, nah, this is an album. You know what I'm saying? Like we expect something like, you know what I'm saying, like that's gonna make us, you know, move our head. This is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You expect cats to be like this, you know what I'm saying, dancing or, you know what I'm saying, smoking a blunt too, you know what I'm saying, something, you know what I mean? But you can't do any of that to this.
Hey, man.
Sit there like,
That's a good point. What can you do to this album?
Hey, what are we pointing at? Like,
you know what I'm saying? You can't do any of that to this.
man, you know, like it's not. There's no kind of adhesiveness going on here. You know, like The Cool, he told a whole story like throughout the album, like, you know, the little brothers, the kids with the guns, like the dude coming back from the dead, like, you know, like, come on, man. Like, and then it's like, wait.
This album is like, he said to himself, how can I get white girls to like rap music that's not Eminem?
Yes.
And then he came out with Lasers.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that.
Or you know what? I even take it a little further. Like, you know, I said like all that stuff, but even like Lou said, like, you know what I'm saying, The Cool, you know what I'm saying, you had the story about that kid, right? So like it's a concept album. You know what I'm saying? Like it's following a story. You know what I'm saying? You could like follow along, but like, okay, cool. I know it's not an album I'm gonna bob my head to as much, you know what I'm saying, or I'm gonna, you know, do, you know, whatever to. It's not gonna play in the club, but it's something that strings along together and I could follow along with it. This right here ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're
so
right.
like it's complete trash, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, Lupe and Nas, lyrically, they're always gonna be on point. But yeah, man.
Well, I ain't got nothing to add. I think that summed it up. I mean, y'all can see. I mean, it's a 2, which is a testament to like Lupe,
His lyrics
and his lyricism.
That's it.
Overall, it's a 2. Otis, if Otis had his way, there'd be nothing on the plate right now. I feel you.
If somebody, it's like we walked into the potluck and Lupe personally greeted me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, I got all this food ready. Like, here's your plate." I slapped that plate out of his hand. That nigga, fuck you.
His
and then
plate,
I leave.
He handed you his plate with the mixtape.
Show ass on my face.
Hey,
I know he could probably karate chop me and samurai sword me up, but I'm gonna still say fuck you.
Sword, nigga.
It's out of my face. You ninja.
Hey, so y'all see what it is. Hey, so look, just because we're gonna wrap it up real quick, you know, as we do. Albums, man, we're gonna be doing albums. If you got some suggestions out there, feel free, put them in the comments, post. Don't let me forget right now, it's the potluck. So I want to tell you now, like, subscribe, share all that with your friends, do all that. We outside the group, man. We doing everything. We got these plate reviews, man. If you got something you want to see up here, man, we hungry. We hungry for reviews, man. We hungry for these plates. So, and everybody know, listen, your goal right here. This is your goal. You get to one of these plates, you get yourself a full plate in there with the mac and cheese, everything, the ribs, the chicken, and all that. That's an album right there. Now we talking. Don't be up here with the Lupe plate, you know, with the lasers plate. Yeah. Fellas, we got some shout outs this week.
Oh, yes, we got, as always, Fried Clothing. Holler at them on Instagram, FREYED, and I'll post the link up. Not the link, but the let me get my shit together. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yo, as always, we got Fried Clothing. I'll drop their Instagram tag in the credits so you can find them there, but it's FREYED. We got Hellfighters Comics from my boy Ramadan. You know, it's a startup comic book company, sure. Black creative, black content is some dope shit, and he's working on the second one now. But first comic is out. He's already dropped some hologram cards. And who else we got? We got Humble for Life, which is Bruce Cash McDaniel, who's also got a couple tracks out on Tidal or whatever streaming services you use, but use Tidal because they pay the artist more. And then Rusher and Verb, they got a couple albums out that you can find as well on your streaming services. Yeah, man. And then shout out to Marshall Coleman, starting a nonprofit to help children without fathers. It's called Boom, and I will drop info on that in the credits as well. Yeah, man, shout out to everybody out there trying to do something positive out there and all you budding entrepreneurs.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are definitely on that, man. And so we got some more reviews coming that we're going to hit. We did some more albums. Hit us on IG, on TikTok. We're going to have it linked up. We're growing. We've been talking about this for a minute. We just keep growing and growing as a group. So, hey, man, appreciate y'all, brothers. Anybody got any bars for us? We ain't done no bars to take us out in a while, man. I want to put somebody on the spot. Lulu.
Oh, I ain't got no bars, but I do want to say, support all the cats trying to do their thing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, building. I know Michael Scholar, I think he just got like his clothing line as well, doing some shirts and stuff like that. So support the brother, you know what I'm saying? Support all the cats trying to do their thing, man. Also, we lost one yesterday, rest in peace to Paste.
Yeah.
Definitely like, I used to be heavy into the battle scene, and I saw this white cat, you know what I'm saying? Like got up there and like was just serving cats. And you know what I'm saying? He was dope, man. Like very funny, you know what I'm saying? Very personable, like, always knew how to control the crowd, you know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Paste, man. Definitely a top 10 battle rapper of all time, man. So
yeah, rest in peace.
Never heard of him, check him out. So he got some dope stuff out there.
Yes, sir, rest in peace.
Definitely.
He's definitely a legend.
Yes, sir.
Losing, and I know it wasn't I know it was some violence. So man, we losing too many like that, man. We got to just calm this shit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Lou, take us out though. Take us out with some bars, because I feel like you got some bars, man. If y'all watched last episode,
I know Lupe. Sorry, not Lupe. You good. God, that shit stuck on my head. I know Lou got some bars, but let me just drop this real quick. This shit finna be bigger than the OJ trial. You ain't gonna follow that up?
This dick.
There you go. Yeah, my man.
I hate that. I hated that album. I'm sorry. I can't.
We're gonna close on that. That's it.
I can't.
No, we're gonna close on that. The potluck, where it's bigger than the OJ trial.
Woo. Oh man, it's always a pleasure, my brothers. Lou, we putting you on the spot next week though. You giving us some bars. I know you've been working.
Okay. Sure, let's go for it.
I mean, I want to see what you drew up. Like
Yeah.
others say.
I mean, I told you, man. Told you I was riding through the city.
You stop at the Kmart. You go in to the Kmart.
Got it to the floor, you know. Ruger was on my side. Picked up a pad and I drew what was on my mind.
Go ahead, say it for the people. I see you. I see you. Hey, little teaser for y'all. Hey, we out, y'all. Potluck. Been a pleasure. Like, share, subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.